Okay, so we have been playing for about an hour and a half here, and we weren't downloading or recording. So we're going to give a quick recap of just what's happened so far. So we're in the middle of the fight with King's Gang. Um, we did a couple of flashback conversations. We resolved the conversation between Bastion and Quantum Quill, since Quantum Quill had witnessed Bastion um, breaking the law. And we resolved that with a couple of rolls where Bastion um, failed to convince her that he was right, but then basically feigned ignorance and pretended like he was
Leaned
I
into
think he
his
used some
foreignness.
role.
Yeah. He leaned
He
into the
used
fact
like
that he doesn't
his
really know what's going on here because he's from
yeah,
somewhere else, right? And sort of appealed to emotion. Yeah.
yep. And so he kind of just confused her enough so that she didn't quite know where to go from with the
Emotions aren't
conversation
her
anymore.
strong suit. Yeah.
Yeah. And she seemed like something else was still troubling her, but Bastion just let it go. And then we
And Soda
had a
Pop and
conversation.
talked, right?
Yeah, Soda Pop and Left Wing talked about her Soda Pop's upbringing in the foster care system and how she had these two friends that were really close to her that were like sisters to her. And when at a certain point, they all decided to get superpowers to try and join the HIT program. And she was a dud. And she said the government just cast her aside because they couldn't figure out what her power was.
I didn't ask her who her friends were.
Her. You did not ask her. I was surprised about that.
Yeah, well, because I had a question in mind that I did ask, and then I forgot to ask the obvious one.
And then you did kind of like imply that like she was wrong about her like way of thinking, because she was like, you assume that we're all just villains.
Yeah, she was complaining about how we call them villains, and I'm like, well, technically you're villains because you break the law, which is true regardless of whether or not it's fair.
Yeah,
like,
and she just kind of said something along the lines of, "See, your line of thinking is pretty close to is closer to mine than you think."
Right,
and just kind of threw off the obviously offensive logic that she just decided not to deal with. Yeah. And then
I mean, it was basically just true, but it's fine.
Yeah. And then when we described a bit of them getting to the actual base.
Yeah.
And Bastion making that tunnel as a part of Echo being like, we shouldn't go through the front door. Let's make a tunnel.
And Palladium had a conversation with
I had a conversation with Thunder.
With Thunder, and her hand was shaking. Yep.
I went over to her, put a hand on her shoulder, gave her a nod, like, to try to comfort support. I got a
got a partial, I think, right?
Yeah, partial success. So I couldn't help myself with that. I couldn't like clear a condition for myself or whatever. Right. But she cleared the condition of afraid, and then I made a joke basically along the lines of, "Hey, your shoe." She started going into this like, "I know, okay, my powers. Like, I need to use my powers. Like, I understand." And then I was like, "No, I was just telling you that your shoe was untied," and tried to play it off as a kind of like a lighthearted joke that would just kind of like deflate the tension.
I made a joke about it being a long shot and Smellerby moment. That's important for me.
I was so confused by that. I heard Smellerby and I'm like, what is he talking about?
Yeah, from Avatar.
Okay. Yeah. Now when you said long shot and Smellerby, I didn't hear long shot the first time. So I was like, what?
Smellerby.
Okay. I was so confused. Yeah. I just assumed I heard you wrong.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's hilarious.
See, I'm so glad we weren't recording so that you guys can get this joke.
Yeah.
That's not worth it. It's
a good joke.
So then we opened up the fight and we dealt with a lot of pedantic rules confusion where I was holding my
real
son.
Quick, Connor,
would you mind what I was saying?
Would you mind just like taking a moment and actually just going through and just describing for us, like beat by beat, everything that's happened in the fight, just so we actually have it in character. Like, it's fine if like the flashback conversations are kind of like just things that we know happened.
Yeah,
but let's actually just watch the scene unfold as players right now for a moment, so we can actually
that'll be helpful.
Get it for the audience, right?
Okay, so
because I feel terrible about not recording this.
It's all good. So the Echo gets shot in the leg. I described it as this being this cool like fade in, fade out sequence where we just get like 1 second shots of like recap of everything that happened last session, where they opened the tunnel, Hornet's pressing buttons on a computer, Echo gets or tries to open his mouth to like soundwave everybody. Nothing happens, and he gets shot in the leg, and then the ceiling like caves in on them. Bastion made a dome to protect everybody from the falling rocks, left a little bit of an opening for Left Wing. Left Wing swapped places with one of the rocks and
somehow failed the +3.
Yep. So tried to get into the dome to escape with them, and a bunch he failed, and because of him moving that rock, a bunch of rocks are about to fall on top of him, and so Rockfist came up and protected him with like a little rock wall to protect him from the falling debris. Leftwing took a condition of insecure, said, "Oh, thanks, I guess," and Rockfist nodded, and then threw his hands into the ground and upended basically blew up the earth beneath them in the dome, basically like shooting them upward. Bastion responded by shooting the dome that was facing towards Rockfist into Rockfist. Rockfist took a condition and got flown back into the room. And then Palladium grabbed Echo.
Yeah, so basically I noticed that Echo was in danger, right? Because he was like on the ground prone. And I trusted my teammates to handle their own safety themselves. And so I rushed towards him, grabbed him, dodged an earth pillar myself, and then grabbed him just in time to get him out of the way of the earth pillar that was shooting him upward. And we skidded out into the open as well, kind of like being surrounded by the villains. And then Vermilion Veil over here took a look at me, and I managed to. My armor gave me the warning just in time. Yep, yeah, exactly. To look away, and I just want to note that my increasing my superior through the last couple of sessions was very important, and I'm glad that I did it.
Yeah, so you got a full hit on that, so you just look away right away. So and then I described Ice Blade gets thrown up against the wall, or like the actual cave wall. And so he got his like senses knocked out of him for a minute there. Mist just melts into water and just gets out no problem. And then Thunder. Oh, and then so I also described Rockfist as he was upending the earth, he was forming all those rocks that had fallen into walls. Oh, and the reason that Bastion couldn't just counter his earthbending is because they had purposefully sifted the carbon out of this rock purposefully for this fight. So
that's important.
And also, just a quick note, I would have mentioned this in the after show, but since we're here now, the reason I did that is because I felt like rules wise, it'd just be really complicated to not have just like two separate elements rather than them just like fighting over the same material. It felt like it would just be contrived. So I thought this would be helpful to just like,
I mean, to be fair, all you'd have to do is Bastion would be rolling, and if he failed, then he won. The other guy won, right? That's just how you do it. But I understand what you mean. And although I will say, to be clear, there was plenty of carbon through the ground to get here, right? It was just the trap they set that didn't have carbon. Okay, I was just checking.
Yeah. They didn't sift the carbon out of like the world.
Well, you said like the ground or like the rock, and I was like, wait, you mean like the whole rock?
They wanted rocks to be falling on him, and him to think that he could move them and then try to and fail. Yeah.
Oh, and Bastion also rolled burn as part of it.
He's like almost dead.
He's gathering a bunch of carbon as he was going,
and had a flashback to when he was in China and a bunch did this, and a bunch of people died. He
was like had a mission with his other My Communist Academy friends, and he was the last person left alive after the mission. Yeah. So he has 5 conditions marked, including having spent a doom track in order to get the damaged condition.
Yeah.
So if he takes a powerful blow, it's just an automatic partial hit.
Yeah.
Woo! Okay. And then Rockfist also was like making those walls to like separate everybody. And Thunder blew open one of those walls, and Quantum Quill used a bunch of little pieces of rubble to like shoot herself out with Thunder and like escape, piggybacking off of her blowing open the wall.
So I apologize that we were not able to get all of that in actual gameplay. That this is like only the second time that something like this has happened in the 8 years we've been doing this, or however long.
I had a nickel for every time this happened.
Yeah,
I would only have 10 cents.
It's not a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
Yeah, not a lot, but it's still weird that it happened twice.
I love that joke. That's such a good joke.
So I'm going to have to add yet another redundancy to make sure that I have a checklist that I keep going off of. Anyway, now we're back.
It was definitely the most pedantic hour and a half we've had so far.
Yeah,
we also argued about Bastian. Or Jared wanted to iron out some of the sidekick rules too. So we spent 20 minutes talking about reiterating the sidekick laws.
Talked about in-setting laws and then talked about game rules for most of that.
We discovered that the real enemy is just liberal politics.
Yeah, the real enemy is the communists all along that we met all along the way. The communists along the way.
The communists we met along the way.
There you go. All right. And I think we're on me
back
now,
into
right?
action. Yeah. So cool. I was asking you, what have you been, what do you do next?
I turn to Rockfist, sort of like hesitate a little bit. I'm like, sorry, bro. And I'm going to steal his power.
Yeah.
Like, I feel bad you wanted to save my life, but also
one last thing I think we did forget is Palladium has his game face on. So he has +1. Yep. He marked angry. He has +1 to
ongoing to rescuing left.
To rescue left wing. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I'm sorry, left wing. Before you do that, go ahead and make that roll. But we should do the team mechanics as well.
Right, yeah,
so when you enter battle against a dangerous foe,
because we're starting the session right now, so we're obviously doing the team pool right now.
So this isn't start of the session. At the end of
start of the combat,
yeah. But the start of the session was basically the start of combat, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It's when you engage in dangerous
it's when you go into battle against a powerful foe, which I assume is the right now.
Yeah.
Right?
So it also at the start of this, it also says at the start of every session, the GM adds a team to the pool. It doesn't say reset it. Do you guys remember if you used the team last session?
I don't think we did. Yeah.
Well, so the other thing
we talked about Bastion using it selfishly, and then he did not.
Okay,
it does say that you add one, but also it resets to 1 when time passes. So whether or not that happens,
that's true. Yeah,
so that's why we kind of assumed it would be 1, right? And it's basically meant to be at like 1 until you use it.
Not last time, right? Like time. Oh,
I mean, there was the travel scenes. You guys.
Oh, I guess. Yeah.
So I think
it's up to Connor whether or not time is passed in such a way that it would have reset and then gone to 1.
I think that makes sense.
But, yeah. I think the general assumption is that 1 unless you're in a fight. Right?
Yeah. I think mainly I want to set the precedent that I don't have to keep track and add one team to the pool every time there isn't like more than 10 minutes that passes.
Yeah, I think what I mean? The safe assumption is I think you're generally supposed to have 1 until you've spent it, unless you're in a fight.
This fight does we don't finish this fight by the end of the session, then we will add a team pool next time and not reset anything.
Yeah,
right. That's fair.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Okay, so add 2 to the team pool. Kill, would you mind copying that token? And if the leader has influence over every other teammate or over every teammate at another team, that is not true.
The leader's Echo. He does have influence over everybody.
Oh, that's right. The leader is Echo. Yeah.
Well, it does depend on when when in the narrative we marked this. Was it when we came?
I mean, he's technically still the leader, right?
He's still the leader. He's the hero in charge. He's the hick.
He's the hick. I forgot about that.
Like, I'll take it, but I would not be so kind as the GM if I was.
That's okay.
If I was GMing. All right.
He's the leader. Just because he can't speak right now doesn't mean he's not the leader. If everyone has the same purpose in the fight at another team, what are the main characters? Like you 3. What is your guys' main purpose in the fight?
Save left wing.
Bastion, yours was also save left wing, I assume.
Well, yeah.
Are you sure?
Well, what else would it be?
What else
kill everybody in the room. That's 100% what I was expecting you to say.
Oh.
I mean, especially after
that is the most efficient way to save left wing.
I see. Okay. Let's try to get that out of you. I definitely could tell you were holding something back. Okay. That I agree though. Everybody has the same purpose in the fight. You might have different ways of going about doing it, but you have the same purpose. So add another team. If any team member mistrusts the leader or the team, remove a team. We definitely decided that Bastion and Palladium.
That's true.
That's true.
Not vibing with what he was saying the plan should be and those types of things.
Yeah, I agreed.
And then if your team is ill prepared or off balance, remove a team. You were 100% off balance.
True. Very true.
Quite literally off balance.
So what you're saying is we could literally just skip this whole thing. It's a net 0.
Yeah, net 0.
No, because you still add 2 to the team pool when this happens.
Yeah, but then we lost 2, didn't we?
Oh, so then the leader of the team can mark a condition to avoid removing a team from the pool.
That's not worth it.
So
unless Echo
that's
takes
irrelevant.
conditions.
Yeah, well, Echo can't take a condition.
He did mark a condition, but not to avoid removing a team from the pool.
Because he got shot in the leg. I used to be a hero like you, and then I took a bullet to the knee.
So I mean, to be fair though, I didn't know that it was going to reset. It was just going to end up being 2. But
it actually wasn't. Yeah, I thought it was literally we got 2 and then lost 2, but we got 4 and then lost 2. So
Connor, you have to make the meme reality. Echo needs to retire from hero work after this, so he can go around saying, "I used to be a hero like you."
Yeah.
Until I took a bullet to the knee.
Yeah.
And that's all he says forever to anyone he meets. All right, anyways. Yeah. Okay, so I'll try and steal his power. Let's get freaky. Again? Wow. I got 2.
Yikes.
It was the only thing I could have rolled worse than what I got last time.
Snake eyes.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna level up.
So let's go.
I mean,
don't forget to mark your
Yeah, I've already got 2. This is going great.
Oh man. How am I going to let me think about this.
I mean, there's like 12 people. One of them just hits me, right? And then I lose it.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to think of, because there's a couple of more interesting things that I could make happen, but I don't think I have precedence for it yet. I'm just gonna keep moving everybody up here.
You know what it should be? He made like an umbrella thing above me, and then I steal his power and it just falls on me because now he's not holding it anymore. I think that's what should happen.
Yeah, and then maybe it falls on you when you give him his power back because you can't.
Yeah, because I just get hit and I lose it.
Yeah,
so I'm like,
I
didn't think that through.
I love that actually.
Sorry, buddy. Boom! Ow!
Yeah. And I think Rockfist starts laughing. You're probably like bleeding from your head or something like that, and he's just like full belly laughing. He thinks that's like really funny.
Yeah.
Probably, especially because he doesn't like when rocks fall on him. He's just like, oh,
yeah. So I'll take a condition, I assume.
Yeah. Go ahead and take a condition.
I take angry.
While he's laughing at Leftwing, I want to impale him with like 32 spikes.
Okay, yeah. So go ahead and roll danger.
Okay, so I was gonna do something else. I don't know if I have time now. We should run. We shouldn't be trying to fight this, but.
Oh, he's the one who's most likely to prevent us from being able to run.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to steal his power.
Yeah. Do I get a +1 from him distracting him?
And
just like now getting his powers like siphoned back to him. It's pretty distracting.
I'm trying to decide. Well, sure, I'll give it to you. It feels leveraged, but I'll give it to you.
What's the trigger there? The narrative trigger?
The fact that he's distracted by what just happened. With
he's
you
watching me.
And he's laughing. Yeah, watching
me get pummeled by his own.
I think it's less that he just got to set his power back to him, and more that he's laughing. And
he's looking at me.
Yeah.
It also doesn't even matter because my freak is 3.
Oh yeah,
that's what I was just about to go check.
Yeah, never mind. That was pointless. But yeah, I'm spending my last burn to use freak instead of danger.
Okay. Yep. Go ahead.
Rolls on this session are bonkers, dude. What's going on?
Nice.
Okay, should I use a team here to literally just kill him?
No,
so you couldn't kill him.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, okay.
Oh, can you? Well, I guess no matter what you do, you still
on a hit you trade
damage,
blows.
Right?
On a 10+ pick 2. On a 7 to 9 pick 1.
Is it worth using a team here to? Because I have to 100% use to avoid his blows.
I think it is because you can. The other things you can do is like take something from somebody, and you can be, I think, pretty generous with the description of what you're taking.
I take his life.
No, you don't take his life.
Darn.
And also, like the amount of conditions that you inflict is definitely narrative driven. But trying to impale Rock Skin Boy with
rocks,
Carbon Spike, with rocks, I don't think counts as 2 conditions.
Well, you can create an opportunity for your allies.
You can create an opportunity for your allies, impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition. There's lots of fun things you can do that just like spices up the narrative.
Yeah. Because
everything is narrative.
I'll spend it, make it a 10.
Okay, so you try and spend team. Describe to me what you are doing that is
Actually, I guess someone else needs to help you. That's how it works,
someone
right?
else needs to help you. So
well, actually, we did that already. You were gonna give him a +1 because the guy was laughing at me. I help him by being silly. Right, you were gonna give him a +1 because of what I was doing by distracting him. But instead of that, didn't help him any. So he could just say that this is me.
So there's a difficulty now. I thought we had come into this issue.
Because technically, I spend team to help him, right, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Right? Or Palladium could, or whatever.
Yeah, I think I'll just let it ride for now. Yeah, go ahead and you can just use it for that.
Okay. But maybe it'd be more fun to have an NPC do something so that they're in the scene. So like maybe one of them helps him in some way.
So this is difficult. Yeah, go ahead.
Maybe like
decide if it's worth.
You can just say like Quantum Quill,
like
after your spikes, like a whole bunch of little pebbles follow your spikes, and she's just like also shooting him. I don't know, right?
So I'm just going to repeat it. If this seems just frustrating, we can ignore it. But when you try to use team while under the effects of Muzzle's power, roll plus mundane. On a 10+, you use the team like normal. On a 7 to 9, you can use the team if you spend 2 instead of 1. On a miss, you spend the team anyway, but get nothing in return. So let's say you're like, hey, Quantum Quill, back me up on this. You open your mouth and you say nothing. You try and speak words, and nothing comes out of your mouth. So
sure.
Does that seem, in my head, I was like, this seems like a really cool mechanic to throw in to just make it more difficult. And then it's just another roll rather than you just can't use team, which would be lame. But I've been on the fence about it because I was worried about something like that, where it's like, oh, okay, nobody's really saying anything.
Right. Well, and normally the triggers for these are narrative and spinning team is a mechanic. So maybe we could say when you call out for help, which would be spending team.
Sure. Yeah.
Because then and obviously we have to be careful not to be cheap and I
give them the
look. Yeah.
Right. Or assume that they just do it. Right.
Yeah. Let me rephrase that. When you call,
I think that's a cool idea, but I do think it should be a narrative thing.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. All right. I rephrased it.
So what's the final verdict?
The final verdict is, what describe, go ahead and describe again what you're actually doing.
Okay.
How are you trying to get, because I think someone else is supposed to technically spend the team on your behalf, but we house ruled it that
you could spend it for
characters
NPCs to help
send
you,
it for an NPC to help you.
David, are we still doing what we said? Like, you're going to spend it because you were already basically distracting them?
Well, I was thinking it would be more interesting to have some NPCs do some stuff. So that's why I was thinking that maybe Quantum Quill could add to your barrage. But the question is basically whether or not you would have had to call out for that or not, as to whether or not it triggers this move, right? So I don't know. What do we think? Do we think that's something she would have just
what do you think is more interesting? Oh, sorry. Did I cut you off? What did you?
What? Are you
say something? Yeah. What do you think is more interesting? Because you're the one this is your role. So what do you think is more interesting to you?
I mean, I don't think he's in the mental state to ask somebody for help.
That's true.
So he was just taking advantage of the opening he saw. And he was the biggest threat to us escaping. So he's just trying to.
Let's look at the peripheral moves. Let's kind of iron this out real quick. So anyone working with the team can spend team 1 for 1 to help a teammate. Give them +1 to their roll.
Yeah, it's just someone working.
Oh, even anyone working with the team. So an NPC could spend it technically in that way. Obviously, it would be it's unclear, but we're just deciding that's what it is.
Is anyone else an opportunist that would be like, oh, that guy's distracted, kill him?
Yeah, I guess to be fair, Quantum Quill doing that makes probably the least amount of sense because she just gives you crap for it.
Iceblade might do
No, it actually makes the most amount of sense to me. It would be Quantum Quill. I'm just trying to decide if somebody needs to say something, and I don't think they do. We'll leave it at that.
I suppose it is a fight.
Otherwise, they're kind of just standing around and doing nothing the whole
I agree. Yeah. So Quantum Quill comes and reinforces your barrage.
Cool.
And slightly nudges them away from all of the vitals.
No, she doesn't. Yeah.
Oh, then
he doesn't do that.
He's made out of stone.
You didn't roll to pierce the mask at all. You've completely misunderstood where she's coming from.
Oh, interesting. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I guess her problem was
she's
that
she's a girl, and you can never women are the most under. You can't understand women.
Her problem was that you attacked a guy after he gave up, and this guy hasn't given up. So yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. So she comes in. So you can go ahead and do a 10+ then. So what is the result of your roll then? You get to pick 2. Obviously, you're resisting or avoiding their blows because otherwise you're out of the fight.
Yeah.
And then you can either take something from them, create an opportunity for your allies, impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition, and no, you cannot take their life.
Can I make a suggestion? Because I was going to suggest something to Bastion on my turn, and then I did a dumb and got hit in the head with a rock. I was going to suggest that you make a wall. Because I was going to steal his power and make a wall, and we can just run. But maybe the opportunity you create is you basically knock him down long enough that his power is out of the question for a while. Like he's hurt and can't like do anything effectively, and then you can put up a wall and we can run anyways.
So you surprise him.
Yeah, so I'm like, because I was literally going to look at you like wall, but I was hoping to have his power before I did that. Mm-hmm. But when I see you take him out, I'm like, build a wall.
Yeah, so you say build a wall and nothing happens. You turn and look at Bastion, you try to say something to him, and you are unable to. No sound comes out of your mouth.
Well, doesn't he have to roll mundane?
No, because he's not making a roll to have a mechanical effect. Like he's not trying to spend team, right? He's just trying to say something, and he can't say something. Because basically the team roll is can you still use team? Like basically it's like, is your guys' training as a team good enough that you can use team without using any words? Is kind of what that role was supposed to be for. I thought it'd be interesting to see like miscommunicate, like you guys can't communicate. So like, how does that play out?
So yeah, I think instead of like using the wall and making an opportunity for us to leave, I think he frightens Earth Guy instead, just from like the ferocity of him trying to be murdered.
Sure, yeah, he's like, holy crap, this guy's crazy.
This child is just trying to impale me with spikes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was distracted. If I say wall and nothing happens, I can make wall signs pretty easily.
Well, but I think this is the heat of a battle, right? So okay, let's put it this way: nobody has done anything except for Rockfist so far. I just having everybody creep up. So it's about to be like all out chaos.
Sure, yeah.
So it's like, so maybe you can roll. Maybe you could roll provoke to like get him to, but also Bastion could just decide to do that. But I think he's not in the right mind to do that. So
because he's in combat mode and I'm in run mode, and I'm trying to communicate to him that we should all be in run mode. I'm fine with that. And I think it also makes sense superior for like me to realize I can't speak and then come up with a good charade. I like it. Yeah, I'm down with that.
Okay.
Oh, thank goodness I succeeded
nice. Okay, so what happens? So there's a couple of things on a 10+. For PCs on a 10+ both. Yeah. If they do it, adds a team to the pool. If they don't do it, they mark a condition.
Dang, that's neat. I forgot about that. So yeah, I'm like mouthing wall and making a wall gesture.
Okay, so let me describe a few things. Just you can decide what you're going to do. I'm curious to see what Bastion wants to do. Let me decide a few things though. So okay, let's talk names, right? This is Hexalia. She's over here in the corner, chanting in Latin.
Oh, good.
And I think she's looking at Palladium as she's doing it. Hornet here is flying into the sky. This is his actual token. It's a much better token. He just finished the paint job on it. And I think he's flying up here, and I think he's shooting little stingers at Mist. And that's just something that's happening off to the side here. Not really sure what the result of that is yet. Plasma Bane. This chick, she goes up and she's got a dagger in her hand. She cuts her hand open and just unleashes a plasma ray. I think maybe because like there's this wall over here still, right?
Yeah.
I think she just like reinforces the wall by just like using a bunch of plasma
like welding
over
it
like
together.
No, I think she's like just making more rocks like collapse over it.
Oh, right? I was like, wouldn't she just blow the wall up?
Yeah, no, she's like aiming at the ceilings and just like adding more rocks to the pile, right?
She knows we're underground, right? Psycho.
Yeah. I think Hourglass over here.
Oh yeah.
He goes over here and he looks over at Iceblade and what's the line? I have a really funny line for him, I think. He says, he looks at Ice. Sorry, what?
Sounds like you don't really have a really funny line.
No, I do. I wrote it down. I had to go find it. So he looks at Iceblade. I think Iceblade kind of like comes to. He was like dizzy from like hitting his head against the wall, and he turns and looks at Hourglass, and he's like, "What the heck? Who is this guy? This weirdo?" And Hourglass says, "Time for you to have a little Groundhog's Day." And he does this with like his hand in his canes, and Iceblade just like enters into this like snappy temporary time loop, where like every time he tries to like move or do something, he just like reverts back to place.
You rubber bands.
Yeah, he rubber bands.
That's awful.
And I think Vermilion Veil did something already. This guy, he does like a bunch of acrobatic moves, and he looks like Robin with his thanks for pulling that up. He looks like Robin with his like weird acrobatic flips and stuff like that. And I think he's probably going after you, Palladium. And I think Amped over here like grabs a cord, like maybe there's like this light over here. He like grabs the cord and like bites into it and electrocutes himself.
The TV turns on.
Yeah, that's weird.
Like, hey.
Sure. And then Shatter. Oh yeah, I forgot about Shatter. Yeah, he definitely appears right behind Bastion and says, the Wonder Boy, or the what did she say? The child prodigy returns. I've been looking forward to tangoing with you, my love.
Child.
What?
I'm a child.
Is that what Bastion says?
Yeah.
What?
I don't think he doesn't recognize her, so that's why.
Oh, true. Yeah, but
it sounded like it was a question.
Fair, though,
he said
I think
child.
Everybody in Bastion would think that everybody in this room is an adult, not a child.
I'm a child.
Right.
He was like asking. He was like child.
You and all your teammates. You probably assume you're 18, so by America standard, you're an adult. But also in China standard, you're like definitely an adult. Like you've seen more than like anybody. So it feels like a weird thing for you to say.
Yeah, I forgot he was 18.
Okay, yeah. But I mean, even if you weren't, I feel like, think of like Kaladin. That's kind of how I picture your character, as like you're young, but like you've seen more stuff than like most 40-year-olds have. So it'd be weird for you to consider yourself having like childhood innocence.
Yeah, I just like I don't. Who? I don't even know who you are.
I don't even know.
I like how he went through like two different versions of this, and he's like, "I'm just gonna do the
meme." I think she says, "You'll remember soon enough." So then, go ahead, Left Wing. Did you make that, or you did make that roll? Yeah. So Bastion, what are you deciding to do with?
Did he succeed?
Yeah. So he communicates. He's like he's asking you to build a wall.
Okay, yeah.
Then he takes a condition if he doesn't, right? He would literally die.
No. He. Oh yeah, I think. Yeah, hold on a second. I think that's
I'm pretty sure that's what happens if
you. What I just read.
Yeah, if you do it, you get like a team, and if you don't do it,
they don't do it, they mark a condition.
So, yeah, that wouldn't be good.
Oh, no. The only reason he wasn't gonna do it is because he couldn't hear you.
But, right? Yeah. I wasn't saying you were not gonna do it, but like,
he'll do it.
Literally can't not do it.
Okay, so
he
go ahead and
creates
roll
an opportunity, and I thought
we just got to build a wall like this.
I thought I was using the opportunity I created from the last thing, but
yeah.
I was so excited to see what you were going to do after you said
Oh, could you not see me drawing it?
No, you can't see it as you're going. The suspense is killing me.
That actually works. I'm actually surprised that we can make a line.
That's why I was making that sound, because I got to Shatter and I'm like, how do I get Shatter? Oh, I can do this.
Yeah. Oh man, you're playing Snake.
Yeah.
So am I not just using the
opportunity
I got from
was that Rockfist is
directly engage a threat, or
I think the idea was that Rockfist is like 2 days to actually effectively undo this. Okay. Was the idea?
Yeah, and then so you're frightening him so that he doesn't want to get near you, right? So,
gotcha.
The mechanical effect is okay.
Yeah, I thought we were still. He was rolling to see what I would use my my other.
No,
thing
yeah.
on.
I basically rolled to give you a chance to do something else. I think is pretty much what happened. Is it possible for him to build such a silly wall?
I think that I don't know. I feel like the more weird you make this, the less stable this is going to be.
Sure. We just need time to get through this wall and run, and then just make more walls as we go.
So that's a bad roll. So that's only a partial hit, which means you either, I think it's mark a condition, or I'll tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary.
Unstable, yeah.
Or we could spend 2 teams.
Can you do that?
Yeah, 1 for 1. You could spend, yes, that would be your last. You'd be using up all of your team to make this a 10 plus.
All right. Well, so I guess
it being unstable or temporary, he does it.
If we don't make it stable or temporary, can they just blow a hole through it in the next turn, or next 5 seconds from now? Because I
think they can, but I think the difference is how long it'll take, right? Because Rockfist is hesitant to use it, but Plasma Bane can shoot it down.
Sure.
Shatter could potentially just go through little holes in the wall, unless it's sturdy enough that there isn't little holes in the wall, right?
Right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think
Hourglass could rewind time on a specific portion of it, and
I think it's worth it. Then I think it's if it buys us time, then it's worth it. Because I was if it's
Amped could punch a hole through the wall.
If it's just gonna break anyway, then it's not worth it. But yeah.
Okay.
But if it's gonna take them time to get through it, then that's worth it.
Caleb, any complaints? Suggestions? You're muted.
No, that's fine. I mean, you can make a wall like that, and I don't really want to fight these guys.
No, so they're trying to figure out if they should use both team.
Oh yeah, well, I'm curious as to how you would do that, right?
What we'd spend. I mean,
that's a good point. How could they help?
Yeah, how could we help with this?
Well, we could just hold them off of you, right? Fight.
Yeah.
I suppose. Yeah, that's true.
Which we also just kind of just described all the NPCs sort of scrapping, so it makes sense that they could be doing that too. But
yeah, that's true. Yeah, that seems simple enough. I mean, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I don't the longer
this is
we stay
a bad
here.
Situation.
Yeah, the longer we stay here, the more chance that you have to be taken out. And if you're taken out, this is gets infinitely harder quick here.
We already have one incapacitated person. If we get a second, we're screwed, and we are already outnumbered.
Well, not only that, how do we get out? We need him to move the stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I spend both. Is that spending it selfishly?
No, so it's other people helping you.
Other
basically.
people helping,
Okay, that makes sense.
It's teamwork. You're not the mechanic of spending it selfishly is spurning your team to get an advantage.
Yeah. So technically, other people are spending it to help you. Is what's happening. But
yep, I do that, and then we run.
So, quick question: is the voice thing a line of sight? Can we talk?
Yeah, as soon as the wall goes up, and separates you, I think I'll describe a couple of things. So,
sure.
This wall here. You have to break that wall down with your carbon. You have to knock it down in order to get it out.
Yeah, and she can just vibrate the wall away, right?
Sure. Yeah, maybe that's how she's helping. She's doing that to the wall there to break it down, so it makes your wall easier to
it doesn't obstruct it.
Stabilize. Doesn't have to fight a wall you can't manipulate.
Right.
And we see Shatter try and melt down and come after come at you, Bastion, through the wall. And as soon as you pull up the carbon wall, you just hear a bunch of against the wall. And this guy does probably a backflip cartwheel or whatever, some weird acrobatic move to get out of the way of being crushed by the wall. Sorry, I didn't ping you. And then Hornet does the same thing. He's flying towards you, but has to fly back in order to not get crushed by the wall. And as soon as the wall goes up, I think you start hearing your own voices of your own panting, so to speak. So you realize.
And Echo can speak. All right.
Yeah. As soon as, Echo immediately says, "Everybody get out."
Yeah. That was my thought.
I didn't realize that Echo is still unconscious. So,
he's still silence. He's bleeding, right? He's bleeding out from his leg.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm carrying him, right?
He does the Gandalf thing. He says, "Fly, you fools." He pushes you down, get out, go, run.
No, yeah. I say, Echo, what are you talking about? I can carry you. Let's go. Don't make this any more difficult than it has to be.
Yeah, he just kind of
Connor, there's a move for this. There's a move for this. I have influence over him.
It sounds like provoke. Yeah.
It's more like it's more provoke. So you could roll to provoke him too.
I'm pretty sure I can
bonus. Yeah,
I can like take advantage of the influence over them too. Take
you get
an additional +1 on a move targeting.
Yeah.
Well, I get a +1 just for having it.
So I don't think like he's not like this isn't him being like stubborn of like leave me behind. I want to die. So if you're just like no, I can carry you. He's not going to fight you more. I don't think there really is a role here. The point is, I was just describing. He's like freaking out, right? He's like
he's losing it.
Yeah, he's been shot. No, none of you guys could talk. The whole time he was trying to yell, like run, get out, like trying to like trying to save your guys' lives, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And as soon as he gets a chance to talk, he's like, run.
When you described it as Gandalf, fly you fools, that means I'm staying behind to fight the Balrog, which is not what I wanted to do.
Yeah. Not. Oh, I suppose.
Right.
He dies in that part, Connor.
Well, I think So I think I forgot. So I think we'll wait until that might come into play later when then I'll have you roll. But not right now. Basically, so the other problem right now is there is a bunch of rubble in the way right here. So this is another obstacle to overcome. Yeah. But you guys have a moment where they're like trying to break down the wall. You probably hear Amped like punching the wall, and he's probably like Rockfist, come on, get over here.
Yeah, I mean, this sounds like a job for Thunder. So I'm like, Thunder, can you disintegrate it or something?
Yeah, so I think she goes to work at it. She's trying to get it out of the way. But it's taking some time. So there's a moment here, just like recovery. I think Mist is like, it comes over to you, Leftwing, and is like, hey, Leftwing, are you? And then just like collapses. And
she's got venom in her.
Well, yeah. So you look at her and you don't see any venom in her body, but yeah, she's like not doing well. She's like she kind of just like falls. She's like struggling to take shape.
I make a bowl out of carbon. I'm just like sit in the bowl.
Yeah, it's like Mist, and I'm gonna try and pick her up, but I don't know if I can.
Yeah, I think so. Like she provides her own surface tension, right? By like keeping herself in shape. So I feel like you're like trying to pick her up, and then like you like sift through a little bit, and then
can I try and steal her power as much as I can, and like make her a little more physical, so I can carry her? So
no. So like the last time we described you doing that, she became less in control of her water. She became like droopy and slow. So I feel like that would be unhelpful at this point in time. If you could take away her power completely, that would help. But weakening her power means you're weakening her control over her body.
Well, there's. Well, right, but she has no control over the person, so that's the problem. So if I'm just weakening her power's influence, which makes push the wrong button, sorry, which just makes her water, then wouldn't that mean? Here we go. Wouldn't that mean that like any amount that I take her power away would make her more solid, right? Because her power is that she's water. So if she's not creating her own tension, her power is she's just a puddle. So if I'm taking her power away, she would be less puddle. Right?
No. So I'm just going off of the last time we described it. The last time you tried to take her power, she was just droopy. So like she's not less Mist right now. She's not less water, right? She's just having less trouble keeping her body together, having less control. So by you weakening her power, you're just weakening her control over her power.
Okay.
You can't actually make her more physical. We haven't seen you do that yet. I suppose this could be a chance to try that. Maybe you try and take enough of it that she's like, I like her physicality pulls through. Maybe that sounds interesting to you.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, that's what I was trying to do the first time. I just couldn't. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if I can try that, I will. Should I roll it at like a penalty since it's harder or something?
Yeah. This is the first time you've done something like this. And genuinely, I think this is really hard, honestly, for you. Right. So I'm going to say -2, actually. Okay. First time you've tried it and doing something like that, and you're not going to completely take her power away. I think it's just like enough so that you could carry her.
Yeah. Yeah. He's pushing it. That's fine.
Yeah.
No, that's not real. Oh my gosh. So I accidentally hit enter instead of whatever I was trying to push. So it's only a 13, but
yeah, okay, you do it. Yeah, so I think
boxcars.
Double
Yeah, this
sixes.
is awesome. I love this moment. So so you just take as much of it as you can. And I think you definitely feel like you're carrying a weight, right? You feel like you're carrying the ring to Mordor. And
it's probably like I literally move slow because I'm like we described when I took the power at the beginning that like it was like holding it, and like the very first power I took I was like holding it was difficult. Obviously he's gotten better, but like I think we see her sort of like go through his hands. Like, we're not leaving you behind, and then you're like we see his like head, his like veins bulge, he strains, and like she. I guess you tell me what it looks like when she solidifies more. But.
So I think just like certain parts of her, well, maybe it's I can't decide if it's like because I thought it'd be interesting if like just a few parts of her body become skin.
Oh, okay.
And then you're able to like hold like on her back.
Creepy.
You know what I mean? But I can't decide if that makes sense or not.
My thought is that she would become like, you know how if you cook Jello too long, you get gelatin, but it's like hard.
Yeah,
like it almost like skin. That's sort of what I imagine. Like she just turns into like gelatin instead of water.
Yeah, I like that. She has like a particular like plasticky feel to her body.
Yeah,
as if there's like a very thin layer of skin.
Okay, yeah. Cool.
I like that.
I can't believe that worked. And he lifts her up and he's like physically like straining to try and run as fast as possible. Obviously, it's never going to go yet. But
okay, so Ice Blade definitely is coming up over to Echo, and I think as he's kind of like pushing you away, Ice Blade kind of like looks at you like, let me have him, and he like fire carry. Throws him over his back and is like please, like, okay, I was making sure
I'm totally fine with that. Like that, that makes more sense.
I think he's like almost pleading with you as if like you're going to try and resist him since there was just like conflict there, and he's just like eyes wide, like throwing him over his back, like, and he looks at you probably the first time he's ever looked at you with something more than or some without disgust in his eyes. You know what I mean? He always has the kind of like haughty look to him. Yeah, disdain. He's just like actually looks at you like thanks
for saving him. I just
and,
give him the nod.
Starts walking over to the rocks, and I think he starts like pushing some of the rocks with his feet, like he's just like desperate trying to help.
And I say, Thunder, how are we doing? And look back at
Thunder's
the wall.
like, I could use some help over here.
I look at Quantum Quill, I'm like, can you pick up any of the small ones? Better than nothing.
So she starts moving a bunch of rocks and stuff like that. Bastian, are you going to try and make a roll here as well to like, because like a lot of this rock was
the reason I haven't done anything yet is like, will doing this compromise the structural integrity of what I'm focusing on right now, or?
You just remake the world around you. Like that's your power. So it's the wall you made is just a wall, right?
It's not something you're like holding in place necessarily. Right. I mean,
I guess he could do that. Like,
you could do that, I suppose.
Like reinforce it. Yeah, maybe you could make it last longer or something. Or whatever.
Well, he decided to do something with a 9.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Just pulling the garbage, breaking down the walls behind us.
The tunnel. Yeah, okay.
Well, I actually don't think you can do these, right? Because these are like the carbonless walls, right?
Well, we came in through.
Right, but they blocked this off with the carbonless rock, I think. That's what Rockfist did. Right, Connor?
I think so, yeah. Though technically, I think he could just use like carbon full rocks to manipulate those and then dig out.
Yeah, I suppose he could just like dig a trench under it with carbon full rocks and stuff.
Dig a tunnel, dig a tunnel.
Are you trying to decide how much carbon is in this rock?
Well, we're just trying to figure out if he could just like he can't earthbend this wall, right? Because it's carbonless rock.
So I think it's probably about half and half at this point because a lot of
they threw a bunch of other stuff.
Yep.
Okay, so he can do it too.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I use all the stuff I pull out to reinforce the wall in front of.
Oh yeah, you're just like digging basically like a dog. You're just like kicking it back and making a wall behind you. That's a good idea.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, there's actually several types of rock that don't have carbon in them.
Oh, neat.
Yeah,
I just double checked. I was like, is this even a thing? But yeah, like a basalt and granite don't.
Neat. All right. I looked up to see if glass had carbon in it in any way because I was like, you could just carbon bend glass, lady, and that'd be amazing, but it doesn't. So.
Well, so I think that would also be like it would be like somebody trying to water bend water that was closer to them. You know what I mean? So like
No.
Like if someone's trying to water bend water that you're currently water bending, like because if there is carbon in glass, there is carbon in some glass. And so if the glass that she has some carbon in it, I think first off, it's more glass than carbon. So she has better control over it, as well as she's closer to it. So like
right. It would be a bending battle.
Yeah.
It'd be a bending battle.
It's like a bending battle, but the water is closer to the water bender, so to speak.
I see what you mean. Okay. When you said closer to you, I was like, I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
Yeah,
I see what you mean. Yeah, she has more power over it. She has more leverage for being closer. Yeah,
I've already had to think about this because that was the first thing I thought of. I was like, Bastion's just going to be like, I implode her.
Right. Yeah. All right. Cool.
Okay. So what? I'm sorry. Where are we at? Is there a role here?
He just got a 9 to basically like finish digging this wall out.
Okay. Yeah. So I think. Okay. Are you gonna? Obviously, you're saying it's either unstable or temporary. So you're not marking a condition, right? So then, in which case, the GM will tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary.
Do we have team left?
No, you used up the last of your team.
Yeah. Really?
Yep.
I think we used 3 team in the last.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Because he had to spend 2 for the wall, and then we spent 1 for something else earlier.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I missed that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 1 for shooting rock fist. So, yeah.
I'm a team hog. Sorry, guys.
No, I mean, you're also the only reason we're
using it the right way. You're not
the
using
MVP
it selfishly.
here. Yeah.
Yeah. What was the question? Oh, yeah. I mean, temporary or unstable is great. We want this to collapse behind us. That would be awesome.
Well, I think the idea would be temporary and unstable, like it's going to collapse on us, or they're going to be right behind us, or
yes. Not so. If I'm assuming you're not choosing to mark a condition, right?
Yeah.
So I think the unstable or temporary effect here is you guys clear this open, right? I don't think it's. I think this wall ends up breaking down, and you are unable to keep this wall from breaking down from their attacks anymore because you have to put too much focus into this. So the unstable or temporary thing is they're able to take down this wall unimpeded, but you're able to clear this way.
This one isn't
temporary or unstable.
Temporary. This one.
I know. Well, exactly, but to say that this one is unstable or temporary, and then it collapses on top of them in your favor doesn't seem like it's an unstable or temporary condition that involves having a partial hit. So I think that still makes sense.
It's a long tunnel. It could collapse on us like halfway through, and we could have to deal with it then.
But then that just becomes you roll again, right?
I mean, that's all this is me rolling.
Yeah, he's just going to build another wall behind him, right?
I'm just going to roll again to fortify this wall.
Okay, so like in which case I'll just make different things happen, right? So I guess if you feel like okay, they have so like you succeeded at reshaping your environment, right? You succeeded at doing this. They have a very logical and narrative way to break this down with more firepower than you have.
Sure.
So
yeah, I guess like it doesn't necessarily have to mean that the thing you're doing is temporary. That's what it assumes, but I don't think there's any reason to not like just translate that to something else, and it makes more sense. So yeah, I mean, I think even if it is just rolling again, it probably still makes more sense to do it that way. Have the wall break down too as we run.
Well, I think the idea is that the tunnel is a temporary or unstable solution. Like maybe it's even just that we are part of the way through the tunnel, but they're right behind us or something.
Yeah, like there's a time pressure to this. We didn't just get away. Basically, is that the idea?
Yeah.
I think that makes sense. Which I mean, was kind of already the case, but
because I think we could make it basically like success with a complication. Like it's not even that like you break down the tunnel, you dig the tunnel, and then suddenly the wall behind us breaks down. It's just that we're rushing forward and we hear the wall break down at some point, and then they're on us quicker than we can get out of the tunnel back to the surface. And so we have to like fight them off in the tunnel now. As Bastion is slowly digging this out, because I don't think it makes sense to like just keep rolling again for reshaping. But the idea that like there's another problem we have to deal with while Bastion is slowly digging us out.
Yeah, and it's also it's not just like so like let's put it this way. There's a whole bunch of villains here, and they all can do different things, right?
Of course. Right.
And so if the narrative isn't just going to be, well, Bastion just rolls to see how many walls he can make before the fight's over, right?
Yeah.
So like,
that's fine.
You guys didn't get a full hit on this, which means this comes down, or maybe you guys take longer on this. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that is actually a complication.
Yeah, I think the one that makes the most sense is that, like, we get partway down the tunnel, the wall collapses earlier than we thought. We're going to have to contend with them a lot more than we would have otherwise, right? I think that makes sense.
So we can say that. Let's say you guys open this up. They're able to break down this wall because it just makes sense for them to break down that wall and pile through. And so you guys get farther down this tunnel. And so now you're off the map. Now let me try and think of how we should.
I mean, you can just draw zones on it.
It's fine. I mean, like, to be honest, Connor, like there are like,
it's just in a tunnel now. We'll just continue the fight in a tunnel. We don't need to see all
exactly. And like, we're only going to be able to deal with 1 or 2 people at a time. Like, and they're only going to be able to fight 1 or 2 of us at a time, right? It's just like whoever's taking the rear is going to have to deal with whoever's in the front of their group, at least at the beginning, right?
Sure. Okay. I guess that, I didn't think about it.
Like, so who's fastest, right?
So you guys did dig out a tunnel before, and I was assuming it was bigger than like 2 people wide.
Yeah. I'm assuming, but I'm assuming that, like, it's maybe collapsed partially because of all the weirdness that's been going on.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Everything having to, like, refix shifted, things,
and so now it's falling in. So if you're making it 2 people wide, there's definitely some negatives to that as well. I mean, their abilities. Their abilities with.
I wasn't assuming that we were making like some giant badger mole tunnel. Like, you don't want to make a huge tunnel. It's harder to do that, I assume.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I didn't think about it, I guess
it's way less stable if you just do that.
Right, exactly. The bigger you make it, the more unstable it is. So I assume it was always small.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's going to get scary. Okay.
As we're escaping up the tunnel, I'm like, Left Wing, I need you to take the rear for a second.
Then you got to hold her, and I hand you missed.
Palladium and Left Wing.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, no, just play. I forgot you were carrying her. Palladium.
That's fine. I can do that.
Yeah.
I'm going to go.
He's not looking good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bastion isn't looking good, you mean?
Yeah. And I'm going to use that time he buys me to roll burn again.
Well, that can kill you. You can take conditions from that.
Yeah, that's fine. I got plus 4.
To be fair, now. He's way better at it now because he has all these
roll plus conditions.
You have plus 5.
I have plus 5 actually. Yeah, you have 5. So you get a plus 5. So you have to get a partial hit.
Roll.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So you'd still be rolling at a plus 3. And on a 7 to 9, you still mark a condition.
You don't get plus. The plus 3 is for labels. Not
go ahead.
Right? Plus 3 is the max for a roll.
It max for any roll is plus 3 or minus 3.
You might want to look that up.
Yeah, it's not a max. It is the max label, but it's also the max modifier.
Yeah, it's the max modifier for any. We looked this up a few episodes ago.
Well, yeah, you looked it up for labels, not for rolling a condition.
Well, it's for rolls.
It was for rolls.
Labels also have a max of 3.
This is fake.
No, it's not.
Because it says roll conditions, and it says the conditions button is 4.
Unless that's its own thing that breaks that rule, that's not how it normally
I'd assume so, because that's how it works on the character sheet.
Well, yeah, but the character sheet wasn't made by the people who made the game. It might just
be... the labels can't go above 3.
Right, but neither can your modifiers. Like, no amount of modifiers can take your roll above 3.
No. You physically can't put it above 3 on the label.
Yeah, that's also true.
I see what you mean. Yeah, but that's probably just because that's how that is. It has its own rule like that.
Yeah,
to be fair, it does say roll plus conditions.
Yeah, but it never specifies up to a max of 3. It just says in somewhere that you can't roll more than 3. But let me look.
But it also just says roll plus conditions. It doesn't say
right. But it also says like roll plus danger. But if you had 3 extra bonuses, you wouldn't get them. So let's see.
Right, but that's because a label can't go.
Well, no,
I see.
Modifiers also can't take it over. It never specifies that, like, but it's fine. I'm going to look it up.
I would say that, Connor, you should just make a ruling on it now, and then we can look it up later. Yeah. This is going to be a really obscure rule that probably is only answered by forums or something.
I'm going to say max of plus 3.
Are you sure though? Because I feel like it makes sense because I'm taking active punishments to get this instead of just.
I think it makes less sense that you could get a plus 5 to this roll. For any reason. I think getting a plus 5 to any roll just doesn't make sense with the scale of success.
Yeah. I mean, you automatically get.
That's how it's supposed to work. The closer you are to death, the more you can
Nova.
burn.
Yeah.
Right, but it's not supposed to make it guaranteed.
It's not guaranteed.
It is. You literally can't get anything but a soft hit. Which, to be fair, it doesn't probably expect you to have an extra condition to mark, but because that's a different class. And
Yeah, I would say that
literally
if
only
you
the
are
dude can
gonna,
do this.
I was gonna say if you are gonna let him do it, I would only make it go up to a +4, right? Like, you can't get +5 on this because that would be impossible according to the rules of masks. Though it could make sense that like this is the one time where you can get one more bonus because you have four conditions you can mark before you go unconscious according to the regular rules.
Oh, interesting. You can never roll with more than +4 and less than -3.
+4.
We were wrong. You can never roll with more than +4 and less than -3.
Oh,
no matter what
it's always
penalties
been
or
4.
bonuses you have. So you can roll with +4.
Dang
That
it,
makes sense.
all of my things would have been.
That's so funny. I don't know where we read that. Is it was definitely +3 -3. Like, this is not what I read last time. This isn't even in the same place. It must have been not in the rule book, I guess.
Yeah,
but
I am upset.
But you're looking at the rule book right now.
Yeah, hits and misses.
Okay.
When a move asks you to roll the dice, pick up 2-sided dice, roll them. You'll probably be asked to roll something plus. Oh, it even says something like freak, danger, savior, or conditions marked. It even lists that in the options.
Yeah, that makes
means
sense
add that number. So if you have danger +3, blah, blah, blah. If you have savior -2, blah, 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 you can never roll more than +4. So it even specifies conditions marked as a thing that doesn't.
That makes sense then that they would make +4 the max because
especially because if you had 5 conditions, you're dead. So
yep, exactly.
Normally.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I guess this 13 is real then because you can only roll +4.
Yeah, true. That you did actually get a +4 on your 13.
Mm-hmm.
Or oh, you rolled. I see. I thought you were talking about something else you did earlier. But yeah. Cool. All
right. Cool. Yeah, that makes sense then. I felt like there had to be something like that because the conditions thing makes sense as a
max.
A max. At the very least, it seemed like it would at least break the rules and let you do it for conditions because
sure. Yeah.
Okay. Can you switch cameras?
Yep. Yeah. Is that did that mess something?
It did for a moment, but I fixed it.
Oh, okay. Okay. So that's the roll then. So then, you get 3 burn, I assume, right?
Oh, I assume so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So let me describe some things then. So they break through the wall, right? And they're like on your tail, and you are, and so you're rolling burn. You're not rolling to further reshape your environment. So the wall,
I told
the cavern breaks down, right? And like after you guys have gotten through it, it falls down again, and then you're rolling to burn. So I'm gonna make some things happen then in response.
Okay.
You're muted. I don't know if you.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm dealing with a child.
Oh, okay. I was just making sure you weren't responding to that.
Yeah, I told Palladium to take the rear guard as we run up the tunnel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, as you're charging up your powers.
I need to turn off the lights and stuff.
All right, I punched someone.
I hit it.
You still keeping your camera up for a reason?
Oh, no. Sorry.
Thought I'd ask.
I always forget that I had done that.
Sorry, go ahead. What was said?
I
just forgot that my camera was cranked up.
Oh.
And I punched someone.
Oh yeah, punched somebody.
Yeah, so
yeah, I'm just dealing with whatever threat is behind us.
Yeah. I think Shatter flies past you, and
she tries.
Yeah, no, 2 things happen. Shatter is attempting to fly past you, right? She's definitely going after Bastion, and I think Plasma Bane. I think the cut on her hand is still bleeding a little bit, and but what is it like? I guess there in the chaos. This isn't very clear, but just for an interesting power take on it is the cut is coagulating pretty fast. But there's still enough of an opening that she blasts some more plasma down the cavern, and it's just like a concentrated ray. So two things are happening.
So she's not hitting shatter somehow?
Correct. Well, shatter is a bunch of she's a bunch of glass pieces.
Right.
Right. So she's not as a person like trying to sneak by you. She's like a bunch of glass that's like swirling around and flying past you.
So, I mean, I think the easiest way to solve this is just to have what's his nose scream really loud down the tunnel. Like, he's an actual hero. He should be able to just absolutely decimate everybody in this tunnel.
Yeah.
Is that what we do? Is that what we have?
So is that like, do I have to roll to get him to do that? Is that how that works?
Let me think about this.
Because like otherwise, I would probably.
Let's say, because he's lost a lot of blood, right? Let's say
you can just have him pass out. That's fine. Like,
I'm thinking about that. So maybe he's like not quite passed out, but he's like not fully.
That's what I was assuming.
Nobody's
is that
even,
like
put a tourniquet on it, right?
We were on our own, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he's like lost too much. He's not fully unconscious yet, but like he's like too loopy to like know what she should do, or
that's
like
fine.
Be in control enough with his powers to like aim around.
Okay,
you guys.
so I'm gonna have left wing. I'm gonna count on you and the other peeps there behind me to deal with shatter if it comes down to it.
Yeah, I can't do anything.
Just a note: if you guys want to like roll to like comfort or support Echo, I think that could be a way to like get him back into
to bring
the fight.
Him back. We don't have time for this. We're not an immediate threat.
Right, so that would be
okay. Yeah. So in which case, I mean, like I'm gonna have to trust that Thunder and Quill can do something about shatter. Like if they can't, then I guess well. The most smart thing for me to do right now is to take the plasma just directly in the chest.
The heat.
Have you ever absorbed plasma before?
I mean, I've absorbed heat. That's basically.
Isn't plasma?
Can I roll freak then to just see how it goes? Like I don't think I have like absorbed plasma specifically before, but like also plasma isn't an energy; it's a matter. It's a type of matter.
It's a state of matter.
I can't absorb plasma, but I could absorb the heat from plasma, which would be the main,
which would cool it down to a gas, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it would probably. It would probably either change its state of matter or it would like render it relatively harmless.
Well, I'm trying to decide because like you technically be defending. I think that might take precedence. But I
think I'm rolling freak because I'm trying to use my powers, right? Like
you're trying to reshape your environment in a sense. I think that might make sense too.
Well, I'm trying to overcome an obstacle is what I'm trying to do. Right, because like the big thing is not necessarily me taking the energy; it's that it doesn't hit anyone else.
Right, but that's protection, right? That's defense.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I could use saver for that, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's how I'll describe it. I'm jumping in the way of it because that's what she's trying to. I assume she's not trying to shoot me; she's trying to shoot someone else,
everybody, right?
Yeah.
So I try to save. Yeah, I try to save people, and that's the main action. I don't really care per se that I. Absorb it and you get to use it or anything. Like I will probably ambiently absorb the heat, but I am definitely just trying to take the hit and like save people with savior. That makes sense?
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Cool.
It might even be a thing where like in order for you to survive the heat, you have to vent it as you take it, right? Like
yeah. And I get a +1 for this because we've figured out that we can use +4.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That honestly makes way more sense than a +3 max because then you can have a label and an additional bonus from something, right?
Yeah, I suppose it does. It also means that you can't. No, I guess technically you can still
double
fail.
Ones you can still fail. Yeah,
guys,
I think that's probably the reason they kept it up.
Right, I guess that's the most you can have without it being impossible to fail. So
yeah.
All right, I guess that's fair. Yeah.
Hey, full hit.
Nice.
Different. We'll have to adjust to. Yeah. Okay. So. Yes, you absorb the plasma for it, and then shatter is going to like I think she's trying to like.
So I keep them safe and real quick. I keep them safe and choose one.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, add a team to the pool. Take influence over some you protect and clear condition. I'm going to add a team to the pool. so that someone can spend that to have the characters do something, right? Have Quill and Thunder help us.
Help. Yeah.
Right? Because I shout back, I'm like, you two need to take Shatter now! Right?
Yeah.
Shooting into my chest.
Yeah, so go ahead. So we had one team pool. Then
I'm assuming left wing could just spend it, basically. That's what I'm thinking. Because he can't do anything else, but him as
I do have an idea. I can trick her.
Sure.
So
sure, yeah. I mean, it makes sense that left wing could try something as a player character.
I will try
if that doesn't help
first. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So I don't think so. You can't just spend team to
make things happen.
Yeah, I mean, you're still.
It's to have them help us.
If you want let's say you want quantum or not quantum, Thunder to attack all of them, right?
Yeah.
You provoke roll like you guys did before.
She's a bunch of tiny pieces of glass.
So then so that's possible. It also comes back to who has the better match. So that's what the roll would be.
Sure, but her whole thing is that she can control something no matter how heavy it is, as long as it's small, right?
Yeah.
So the weight,
no matter how heavy it is, it has a weight limit. But she can move as many pieces. She can move a theoretically infinite amount of pieces as long as each piece weighs less than 10 pounds.
Right, and as long as each piece weighs less than 10 pounds.
Right, but I guess if we're imagining that the pressure of her telekinesis controlling herself is weight, then she could override it. All right, well that's not as good of an option.
So here's the question then. Yeah, you could do provoke, or you could do your little trick thing, and then just spend team to give yourself a bonus from them helping.
Right. Yeah. So I guess I don't have anything to do yet. I don't even know if she's there yet. I'm still
that's true. What does Shatter actually attempt to do?
Yeah. So we see the laser hit. And
in Shatter, is a bunch of pieces of, she separates herself into a bunch of pieces of glass, and she hugs the cavern wall, and then I guess I think she's just aiming at Bastion. That's all you see is just a bunch of shards of glass, and they spread out, and then they start to circle around to center in on Bastion.
Right. Protect Bastion at all costs.
Yeah.
I think Iceblade too is hold on, Echo, hold on. But I don't think any other character is doing anything much. But yeah, so left wing. I don't know if you wanted to.
I want to see it maybe this won't work because I tried it earlier, but I guess she doesn't have any way of knowing that I tried it necessarily. But I want to try and convinced her that if I steal her power, she'll die. So.
Oh, sure. Okay.
So I'm like, you better not, Glass Lady. I can steal powers. If I take yours, you're just going to turn into a pillar and you'll never come back.
So.
I don't know if she'll believe me, but I am holding a girl made out of water because I'm doing that. I don't know if she knows that, but.
So there is a reason that you, there is a reason that she would know that you can't do that.
Okay.
So I'm not sure there is a role there for that.
Sure. Okay.
So maybe you just notice that she doesn't pay attention to it.
Doesn't care.
Yeah.
I was thinking though, if there was a chance she could have believed it, it would have been funny if Left Wing looked down and missed and be like, pretend like you're dead.
Yeah.
Pretend I just killed you.
But she is dying. She's got poison in her, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. What? Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, I don't really know what to do otherwise. I don't know what other narrative thing I can say to try and trick her. Yeah, I guess I'll turn back to Quantum Quill and be like, can you hold her pieces? And just try and delay her, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think Quantum Quill just busts into action because I think that's the only way that she actually can do anything before she reaches him. So go ahead and roll to provoke her then, and see how well you. I guess this would be like, this is superior, right? So like this is like, is your idea make sense, or by you doing this, does she like not?
She doesn't. No. But I am only 2 experience away from leveling up. If I can flub another roll, I'll level up at the end of the session.
Man, it sucks to be Palladium because I never fail, and so I
usually don't fail. This is crazy. I got a 4 there. Wow. I rolled under 5 like 4 times this session.
Okay, so Shatter gets past Quantum Quill. I think maybe you just don't say it fast enough.
Yeah.
And Quantum Quill is already, especially because you already tried to like trick her first. And you're like, Quantum Quill, and then she like turns and reaches, and I think we see her push this back for a second. We see her like turn and like push out her hands to like do something, and we just see like a bunch of glass shards like pass her really fast, and there's just a bunch of cuts just like appear on her face.
Ouch, yeah.
And then the all the glass just kind of like centers around, and just a ton of shards of glass just go straight at Bastian. Yeah. I'm trying to decide. So Bastian, you were burning. That's what you were spending your time doing. I think I'm trying to decide, because like there's a bunch of rules to stop this from happening.
Yeah, you could have him take it a powerful blow, and then like I actually don't think there's, unless you like super bomb it, that there's a way to be forced to take a condition from that. I think
true.
There's always other options.
Do other things instead of taking a condition. Yeah. So go ahead and actually, even if you get a 10+, you can still choose to take 2 from the 7 to 9 list. So yeah, go ahead and roll the power blow. I think that makes sense.
I gotta take a powerful blow because someone else failed.
Yep. Well, and also because you were spending your time charging. This is what he was saying. Like if you hadn't been doing that, you would have been able to do something.
I'm gonna spend a doom track. What else do you want me to do? I roll 4 with 4 conditions.
Well, yeah, but that was what I was just saying to Connor, is that you don't necessarily have to take a condition when you take a powerful blow. So you might be able
other options.
Not get taken out. But I'm trying to find the move. Oh, I actually looked in the wrong place.
Which move?
Take a powerful blow, just to see what the other options are. Just curious. Okay. So let's see. You roll plus conditions, so you're going to get a 10+ for sure, basically. You must remove yourself from the situation or lose. You choose one of these. You lose control of yourself or your powers in a terrible way, or 2 options from 7 to 9, which are lash out verbally, which inflicts a condition to your friend. You can give ground, so you give your opponent opportunity, or you can struggle past the pain and mark 2 conditions. So you could take 2 of those or one of the 10+ ones.
Yeah, that's true. There's plenty of options that don't involve you being taken out or marking conditions.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll
But sure, you could keep driving your character like a stolen car if you'd like.
Let's go full hit. Nah, that's what I needed.
Whoa.
Oh, that's bad.
That's bad.
That was So do I get a potential for passing this one?
No, you only get potential for weathering the blow.
You do actually get potential, but it's actually, you specifically get potential for getting a 6-, which is why they name it that way.
Yep.
It's always a 6- that gets you, not a fail. Because in this case, it's actually a good thing. Yeah.
Okay. But this is a bad thing.
Yeah, this is a bad thing.
This is just bad.
So you must remove yourself from a situation, flee, pass out, etc., or lose control of your powers in a terrible and
lose control of yourself or your powers
or your powers in a terrible way. Or you can take 2 of the 7 to 9 options, one of which is basically you die.
Which one should I do, boys?
Losing control of yourself is kind of fun.
That's what it's either that one or going to be the first 2 from the 7 to 9.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Lash out and give ground. Man, I would just lose control. Like that seems like the most interesting to me. The other one is going to be like things get worse, but in a way that's out of your control. Mm-hmm. Like as a player, like obviously it's out of your control as a character no matter what, but like
you just like cause an earthquake, just like split the land.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool.
I want to see Bastion unchained, right?
Yeah. So if you want to choose that, tell me what you do that causes a problem, and I'm going to tell you what happens though. I want you to choose like narratively like how Bastion reacts to it, and I'll tell you how it goes bad. I'm not like I don't want you to be
basically what I was saying is
cause
like
an earthquake and bury all of the villains.
Right.
I mean, so it'd be like I'll tell you what the cause of it is, but you tell me what you do.
Yeah, the other option was going to be like lash out at a friend and give them more of an advantage, which like that just seems like not what Bastion would do here. He would just go crazy with his powers.
Yeah, you said Quantum Quill got like hit a bunch, right?
Yeah, she got the shatter blasted past her and cut her up a bit with her glass.
Yeah, I think he'd probably just try to like earthquake the entire like this area.
Okay.
Just collapse the entire.
Yeah, I thought it would be cool to just change the whole scene, right? It's like basically rip the ground open. Everyone's in a giant crater now, kind of like just totally shift everything. Turn it into the that one. Never mind. He probably haven't played Elden Ring.
I'm trying to think.
Becomes the Shattered Plains.
Yeah, there you go. There's one.
Bastion just slams his fist into the ground and just. Connor's deciding how much he wants to change things or how well he can lean into the thing he already had planned.
Well, okay, so the narratively, this is as bad as someone being taken out of the fight, right? So I'm trying to find a way because like this earthquake could very easily just like
it does say in a terrible way.
In a terrible way.
It's not a good thing. I mean, we're also underground. Like it's also bad for us.
We are reaching the end of the session.
We're out of time too, so I'm trying to think if there's a way I can do this that will just like end this scenario.
I actually think the Shattered Plains thing is perfect because you could literally split people up.
Yes, but I'm not sure if I want to continue this into the next. Here, that's what we'll do. I'm gonna take the reins for a little bit. So so you just like you're overwhelmed by all these conditions, right? You're feeling all these emotions. You're in a post-traumatic state of mind. Yeah. And you just like reach out, and I think Shatter like gets super close to just like impaling you, and then we just like Carbon just like fills the tunnel way of the camera shot, and it just like cuts to black, and then we just like zoom out, and we just see like a huge cave in, right?
Like a sinkhole.
From the top of the land, right?
And,
what's directly above this layer?
Like maybe we see the jet like parked over here.
Oh, right, yeah.
And maybe just like near the jet, we just see like the huge sink in, right?
Yeah.
And we'll kind of real quick, what was the like terrain around this place?
It was just like an open area with a hatch, right?
Yeah, I didn't describe it. Maybe it was like a I didn't describe the terrain. Maybe it's just
what state is it in?
Face like a hill, but like with a bunch of like rock outcroppings. So like it's not like grassy or like trees. Sure. It's like more just stone.
Got it.
Not like a desert, but just like stone. And yeah, we just see it like collapse. And I think we just see like from Marty's perspective, he's just like, guys, come in. Come in. Echo? Anybody? And so Bastion isn't taken out of the fight. He specifically didn't choose that option. So I think maybe we see like a spot like open up after the rubble, like so like maybe all the dust like settles, and then we just see like a spot open up, and Bastion is like dragging Quantum Quill like out of the ground. And then like behind him is Palladium, like maybe pulling up Ice Blade. And then we see Leftwing like with Mist. And we don't see Thunder at first. And then we see Rockfist open up a piece of ground. And like all the villains like jump out, and like they're like beaten up, but like nobody's like taken out of the fight. We just see them all like pile out of some rubble. And who would it be? I think Shatter has Thunder, and is like how would she's like formed around her in like different shards of glass. Like there's like pieces of her face and stuff that are like kind of visible, but it's like it's like a perspective of like that.
Mm-hmm.
So like normally this would be her face, but the glass shards
it's
are
like an expanded version of her face. Yeah.
You can like see pieces of her face, but like can't quite put the pieces together. And she's like all of her shards of glass are like pointing inward at Thunder. And then we see probably Muzzle. He was wearing like cloaking technology, one of the tech things that they stole from you guys. And he pulls out Thunder from behind from the rubble and like throws him down on the ground. And
Thunder?
You mean Echo?
No, yeah, I'm sorry, not Thunder. Yeah, I meant
okay.
Echo. I think all the villains are like basically putting a block between you and him. And we see, and you guys are like recovering. I think maybe Marty, like over the comms, is like, hello. And like nobody can hear their comms because they're all broken. And he like opens up the thing and he's like, guys, get in. And we see Muzzle grab a notepad and he throws it down on the ground in front of Echo and grabs him by his hair and pulls him up. And he's like, you're going to tell me where your brother is. And you're going to do it right now. And everybody's just like making, like basically putting themselves in between you and him in order to do this and have Thunder basically at knife point. So go ahead. If anybody is attempting to do anything, go ahead. Otherwise, I'm gonna.
Is it Echo or is Thunder?
It's
at
Echo.
knife point?
He just keeps saying Thunder.
They're
it's
both.
Echo.
They're both. So Shatter has a Thunder covered and surrounded.
Oh, okay.
With
Sorry.
glass. All the glass shards.
Echo is being grabbed by Muzzle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, obviously we save them because I have moves for this. I can guarantee that we save one person. Who are we saving?
I can guarantee we save the other one.
I can't do anything, so
you could switch with one.
Yeah, but then I'm in danger again. That was how I got in the first place.
Can you swap them with a boulder?
If I'm that's true. I can do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Are there how solid is the debris around us? Oh, I can't right now. I'm holding Mist together.
Well, you could.
Well, does it matter that you hold Mist? Like, can you?
I think so because she has like poison in her body, and I'm assuming that by making her solid, I'm also slowing the poison down. That, to be fair, was not. Can I make a roll, Connor, to see if that's the case?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and assess the situation. What's going on here?
All right, yeah, because I want to know if letting her go is a big deal here. That's superior. Okay. Thank goodness.
Ooh, baby. That's a good roll.
Next.
Well, hit. Okay. I think you asked. What do you do? 3 questions?
Yeah, I forgot. I can't just ask a question. I want to know.
What here can I use to blank? What here is the biggest threat? What here is in the greatest danger?
What
most vulnerable to me? How could you
see what here is in the greatest danger, but specifically Mist as here, not like here.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, the situation that he's observing is Mist.
Or maybe like here's the biggest threat. Actually,
I understand the question that you're asking. I don't think it's too far fetched, so I'll give it to you. Yeah, I think. Man, I don't know. I think the fact that you're I think what you are doing by making her somewhat corporeal enough to carry her, I don't think that's slowing down the poison. I think if she was fully human, I think her body would respond to the venom in an easier way to cleanse it from her. But because the venom is not visible, she can't figure out how to get it out of her system.
Okay. Well, hey, if I've made her more solid,
no way to do that.
If I've made her more solid, could she tell now? Because the venom is still liquid. It would be different than her body now.
But no, so I don't think enough of her body is physical enough for her to narrow. It's probably easier for her to figure out right now, but okay. So basically my thought was like earlier we've seen like her get infected with blood, right? She tried to stop that person
from take it out.
And then she was just like, the blood is in my system. But she was able to see it and isolate it and push it out of her. She just can't tell where the venom is in her body. And I think that's the problem.
Okay. I was hoping making her solid would make it more obvious, but I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I that seems like
it sounded like you were mainly making her outside solid.
True. I was trying to carry her. That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I will. Well, I guess I'll ask some other questions here since I have what? How many do I ask? To ask 2? Okay.
Yeah, ask 2. So you get one more. But don't you have a skill that allows you to ask another question always?
It's just a separate list that I can always ask on, even if I fail.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So I can also ask, what here is useful or valuable? How can I best infuriate or provoke this person? And what's the best way /pass? I'm going to ask.
You do provoke for her to see if, like, what can I do to get her to figure out the poison? I don't know.
Well, so now that I know that this isn't making any difference for the poison, I'm just going to let her turn into water for a little bit while we deal with this.
Yeah.
And actually, the plane is right there, right?
Yeah.
Can I? And Marty's standing in the plane. Right?
Yeah.
Marty's in the plane.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna switch her with Marty, so that she's in the plane. What?
Oh, Mist.
Yeah, Mist with Marty because I'm holding Mist. Yeah. So I'm gonna swap them so she's in the plane. So when she turns into water, she'll just be in the plane.
Yeah.
And
guys, wait.
All right. You can go back if you want. Just need her in there. And now I'm gonna try and swap. I'll wait. I'll wait and let you guys try and protect. Well, I don't know. I don't want to do all of the stuff here. I don't want to like.
Yeah, I think we should.
That's the question, though.
So, you're right. And actually, am I the only one that gets a +1? Because you get a bonus when you act on the answers to the questions.
I think it is.
And I don't know if everyone gets it or if it's just me.
When you assess the situation, take +1.
Yeah, that should be you.
Sounds like it's just me. Yeah.
I can see an argument for it, but not in this case.
Yeah.
Like if you found out someone's weakness and then like told me or Palladium.
Yeah, then I would just give someone a situational bonus to it rather than just like you get a +1 while acting on the answers. That makes sense too.
Okay, I'll do that. I was basically going to end up going a really roundabout way to get to the same thing, so I'll just do that.
Right.
Yeah, so I guess maybe how can I best infuriate or provoke, like, or maybe what is the best way /pass, whatever makes more sense for like what's the weakness here, what's our angle.
For who specifically though?
Now for the people we're saving. I'm not worried about Mist anymore. I wasn't helping her not die, and so now I'm talking about the saving people thing.
So I think there's 2 separate questions for 2 different people though. I think there's because it's like
Thunder's surrounded by glass, and then Echo is surrounded by other villains.
So who are you trying to answer that question for?
I suppose it could also be like which is the better angle, which is easier,
right?
What here is in the greatest danger? That could be like,
right? How close are they? Yeah.
Which one's worse? Yeah. Okay. I know what I'm going to do now. All right. Yeah, that's my question. Who's in the most danger here? Right,
I think it's Thunder.
I thought so too. All right. So I look at Palladium, like, ready?
Yep.
And I swap you with Thunder.
Yep.
Yeah. Nice.
All right.
I think.
And you know what I do though?
Can
I do something? Oh yeah. That's probably the roll.
Sure.
Go ahead and
what I'm gonna do is I absorbed the heat from the plasma ray. I'm just gonna go
melter.
Yeah.
Sick again. It's like she died the first time. All right. I get a situational bonus for acting on this, right? On the answer.
Yes, you do. Yep.
Sick. I needed it. I'm so glad we know we can get +4 now.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna let a blast out here, because I don't need to save. Like that's what David just did. So instead, I will. I'm thinking I do directly engage a threat by heading directly into danger without regard to your own safety. Is what I'm doing right. I'm more than a shield move right now, so I can use savior instead of danger to. Like, and the threat I'm engaging with is Shatter, right? I'm going to take her out of the combat, or try to. Okay, I don't. Okay, does this count as my game face still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or no, because
we're not saving left wing anymore, right?
That's true.
I guess, kind of.
Can I mark another condition to do game face again?
You can, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Well, I can. There's a move on here that I'm sure that I won't need.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to mark. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna do game face. I'm gonna mark afraid.
Okay.
Right. This is definitely this is not a good idea.
Okay. -2 to directly engage a threat. That's what you just triggered.
Yes, but I have a move that lets me roll savior instead.
Oh,
I
you're
was
right.
about to be like, don't
But it's
do
the
that.
move.
Yeah, because you have to pull your punches for that, don't you? Oh no, no, that's a different one.
No, yeah, because I'm doing. Wait, I'm just trying to decide because like technically it does say -2 to directly engage a threat.
Yeah.
Not. Yeah, I would have
the
to.
move, not the stat.
Yeah. Okay, maybe I don't do that. Let me just take a gander at these again.
I mean, afraid definitely makes sense though to be like the center of it. Shatters.
Yeah, but I mean, you're wearing armor, and this is glass. Like, unless it's supernatural glass, it literally can't hurt you. I'm sure that it can. It is supernatural glass, but like,
I'm not going to do game face. I'll just roll. I can auto succeed on like a save person thing. I don't need to do game face again. All right.
So, but are you rolling savior or are you rolling?
I'm directly engaging the threat by heading directly into danger without regard for your own safety. So I'm rolling savior, but it is still the same move. I'm just not going to do game face anymore.
Okay.
If I had only done game face.
Okay.
Yeah, so 9.
Does he not have a situational surprise bonus?
No, that's just making this possible.
There's also a team, remember?
There is a team.
That's
so
true.
Can I have spent team like this was, us working together?
That's literally said. Are you ready?
Yep. Perfect. Yeah, we'll spend that together to get a full hit there.
Okay, so you obviously then are resisting or avoiding their blows, and
oh yeah, because I'm directly engaging a threat. So on a 10 plus, pick 2. Yeah, I will resist and avoid their blows, so I don't get hit.
Take something from them and take Echo.
Well, I'm taking something for Shatter. Shatter doesn't have anything anymore.
Yeah,
no, I took something from Shatter.
That's what I'm attacking though.
Right, she's attacking Shatter.
Yeah, but Shatter doesn't have Echo, so I can't take that from her. Right.
Well, yeah. You can also impress, surprise, dismay, or frighten your opposition, which doesn't have to be her, right?
True.
So, like, I don't know. I guess it does kind of imply that it's the person you're hitting that you're taking things from.
I'm going to choose create an opportunity for your allies.
That's a good idea. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do that one. So I get her, and this is like me releasing the heat. So I'm imagining Shatter just melting, right? Just like going to goo for a bit here, and having to slowly reform herself.
Oh, yeah, I think that's what. Yeah, so like you blow her away with heat, and I think we just see like the glass just like liquefy. Yep. And then we see her like off on the side. She tries to like reform as like a liquid, but she's like struggling and like trying to solidify herself. And she's probably screaming in agony. She's probably like,
oh yeah, I know.
Like this like gargly scream because she's like not solid. And then
it'd be Bastion figuring out what he's going to do with. But I gave an opportunity to my allies, so I'm hoping that this will give like will help Bastion to do what he needs to do.
I kind of just want to make like a tsunami of just like Earth and like just like split the wave right around Echo.
As in just like move everybody away from Echo. Is that kind of your goal?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I can do damage with Unleash Your Powers, right?
Right. That's what I was trying to determine. Because you're not directly engaging a threat, you're just reshaping your environment. So you just be moving them away from him.
Yeah.
What's happening?
I'm trying to get them away from Echo so we can like snatch them and leave.
Yeah, I mean, I could just swap them with a rock or something, but I don't want to do all the. I want to take the opportunity away from you to do something.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to do anything, I'll do that.
I mean, we can do both.
No, true. I didn't
seem helpful.
Yeah, actually, I guess if we swap them and then they just come fight us, that doesn't any better, really. So yeah, that's true.
So go ahead and roll, Alicia. I'm gonna make something that will end this encounter because it's 11:45.
And I'm gonna go ahead and spend my two burn to make that a 10.
Okay, yeah. So nice. you do it. You move everybody away from Echo, and I think Muzzle like was holding him by the hair, but you move him so maybe like there's a piece of carbon that literally is like a hand that like reaches out specifically on him and like pulls him away, and Muzzle is like no, is like screaming as like
and I'm imagining like Bastion still has like all his conditions marked, so this is like
just like ragged and just
Nova like just like
Okay, so you do that, and then everybody.
Can I just go save Echo then?
What's that?
Can I just go grab Echo then, since I'm right next to him?
Yeah. You go and you pick up Echo, and everybody starts running towards the jet, right? And everybody else is like, quick, get Echo before they. And the jet, while Marty and Mist are in it, all of a sudden just starts to like pieces of it start to fold and move, and the jet kind of like transforms into.
It was Starscream all along.
into this like mech thing.
Oh, it is Starscream.
And we see like Mist and Marty like folded into like the cockpit, and they're like shoved into the cockpit and kind of like contained into like this section on this like transformer mech thing's chest. And then King what's the word? He like shrinks out of the mech and appears in front of you, basically like between you and the jet. And
he just made our jet into like a mech soldier thing that he can fight for him. Okay.
Yes. And has Marty and Mist. And he says, left wing. I think there's just like a super like long dramatic pause, right? And then he just says, left wing. It's time for our talk.
Nice. That's great.
Dang, what an insane power.
So what is his power exactly? He just controls technology, or
apparently I don't know. It sounds like overhaul, but for technology to me. That's crazy.
I'm just
is this the only time we've seen him do this power?
He was the cable guy too, I think.
He was the guy that transferred everybody data.
He was cable. Okay, yeah. So it sounds like a technology thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to give any more specifics because I like how much mystery is around.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
So what you're saying is we did.
No, a king just wants to talk.
Yeah, technically King said I could leave. So none of this is technically necessary, but you guys didn't know that.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, we'll just end it there.
Now, is Soda Pop there? Just out of curiosity.
She was not. You did not see Soda Pop or Unnamed Girl.
Yeah, well, because that was my main concern when we destroyed the entire area. I was like, there's a literal child down there. Like,
very good.
Yeah.
All in a day's work, right, Bastion?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Do we have time for an after show, or if not, it's fine.
I'm good to go.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
All right. We're out.
Just make sure you record it.
Can you hear? Wow, low, too soon.